Rink-wide Vancouver. Pre-game, post-game, every game presented by Bodog. From sports odds to free casino games, make a play at bodog.net. Wadden and JPat here with you once again. The last time, game 82 for the Canucks, and they're facing off against a Coyotes team that, isn't going to the playoffs as well.
I start to feel like they should have got Connor Bedard in to drop the ceremonial puck in the opening faceoff for this one. In some ways, it's fitting that the Canucks finished their season at Mullett Arena in Arizona, an NCAA building, because the Canucks have a couple of college free agents in the lineup. In fact, Akito Hirose not just played twice at Mullett earlier this year with Minnesota State, he scored a goal there. So this is familiar surroundings to him. Of course, for the Canucks, it's just their second time there. They lost 3-2 a couple of weeks ago in the smallest rink in the National Hockey League, and this is where they will finish their season.
Let's get to the lineup change. It's presented by Delaney's OK Tire out on Fraser Highway in Langley. Colin Delia going to get the starting goal at the Mullett.
Yeah, you know what? He was pretty good the other night in Los Angeles. It's not his job to score goals, and since the Canucks didn't score any, it was going to be tough to win, but he made 26 saves, and I don't know how important it is for him to reach double digits in wins, but hey, you suit up in the National Hockey League, you want to come out victorious anytime. So an opportunity for him to lock down his 10th win of the season if he can backstop the Canucks to a victory. I would think that the Canucks will go with pretty much the same lineup. They don't have many options. Aidan McDonough will likely stay in and play in game 82 here. The six defensemen that they've got, those will be the six defensemen they go for. The thing to watch, I guess, is how much ice time does Andrei Kuzmenko get? We know that there's been some tough love from head coach Rick Tocchet. Scored his 39th goal of the season on the breakaway on the power play the other night in Anaheim. A chance to get to 40 goals tonight. So do they play with Pettersson? Does he get first unit power play reps? Those are some of the things that I'll be watching as the Canucks take on the Coyotes.
And Canuck fans will be watching this after the game. The Connor Bedard sweepstakes. The Canucks will know their draft lottery odds after tonight's game.
Yeah, things will come into place, into focus, I suppose. The Canucks can finish as high as 22nd in the overall standings. There is a way that they could drop all the way to 25th. They start the night tied with St. Louis. They're one ahead of Detroit. They're two in front of the Washington Capitals. So if you're into scoreboard watching, there are some games that'll impact the Canucks and those draft lottery odds. And then, of course, the Canucks will face the Coyotes just after 7 o'clock.
Final chance as well for the Canucks youngsters to make an impact tonight.
Sure. We've been saying this for a while, but this is the end of the line, and so management's going to have some decisions to make in the offseason. What has Aidan McDonough done to sort of plant his flag in a spot in the lineup for next season? Has he done enough? Jack Studnicka has been here for most of the year. I think there are still some questions about what exactly does he do around here with the Vancouver Canucks. Nils Åman's had a nice season, really, overall. Sure, he went down to Abbotsford for a little stint there in the middle, but for the most part, Nils Åman's looked the part of a National Hockey Leaguer, but he's gone a little bit quiet here down the stretch. You'd like to see him finish strong. Dakota Joshua, we know Rick Tocchet has liked him since taking over as head coach, but he too has been a little bit quiet when it comes to offense and production. So one more chance. We'll see if some of these guys can make any sort of statement in their final game of the season.
And let's see if Andrei Kuzmenko can reach that 40-goal mark as well.
Yeah, and we mentioned that. That certainly is one of the things at the top of the list for me. And so do the Canucks put him in the best situation to do so? We saw Rick Tocchet load up Elias Pettersson with JT Miller the other night to get to 100 points. And of course, he got there +1. So he's at 101. Where will Petey top out? But Can Kuzmenko, who's been so fun to watch all season long, was voted the most exciting player by the fans last week. Does he have a little more excitement? One more goal into him to reach the 40-goal milestone in his first National Hockey League season.
Change always comes in every single season. This could be the final game for some in Canucks colors.
Yeah, it will be. We don't know who exactly, but, the talk will pick up again probably as early as tomorrow. What's Brock Boeser's future? Connor Garland. Do the Canucks want to create a little cap space? And is that a contract that they would look to move? Tyler Myers will go into the final year of his contract next year. And, of course, there's a bonus to be paid in the summer. Does that make him more tradable? Beyond that, buyouts and those types of decisions that we made over the next couple of months. But yeah, I mean, every year change is a constant in pro sports. And certainly when you're a team that falls short of its expected goals, you have to think that some significant change will be coming to the Vancouver Canucks.
Let's take a look at those Desert Dogs now, who have just one win in their last 11 games.
Didn't we say the same thing about Anaheim the other night? I guess Anaheim was winless in 11. They were 0-9-2. The Coyotes are 1-8-2 in their last 11. And guess what? The one victory? against the Ducks, and it came in overtime. So, this Arizona team has been limping to the finish for a while now. But it is their home finale. They'll have the 5,000 fans in the Mullett, and maybe they want to leave them with something to think about for the offseason. So who knows what to expect from Arizona? Who knows how hard the Canucks are going to compete? It is an NHL game, but yes, this Arizona team has not been very good, and not for a while now.
Speaking of the Mullett, they'll cut it tonight. It'll be their final home game, but they've been decent there this season.
You know what? That is one thing that you have to give Arizona credit. They sort of embraced this novelty effect of the small building. 21-15-4. Get this, the 21 wins on home ice, the same number as the Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche have at their home rink this year, and it's more than the Vancouver Canucks managed at Rogers Arena this season. So the bulk of Arizona's wins have come on home ice. 21 of their 28 victories this season in front of their home fans. They've been a disaster on the road, but they have found a way to squeeze out some victories at the Mullett.
And if there's been a bright spot for the Coyotes this year, it's been the play of Clayton Keller.
I don't think enough people in the National Hockey League have given Clayton Keller his due. He is tied in points with Austin Matthews. Now, he's played a few more games than Austin Matthews, but he's a point ahead of Steven Stamkos. That's the kind of company that Clayton Keller is keeping. And in fact, if he gets a single point tonight, he's going to tie Keith Tkachuk for the Arizona Coyotes franchise record for points in a season. If he gets 2 points tonight, he's going to rewrite the record book and have top spot to himself. He's had a terrific season, and since February the 1st, only 3 guys in the National Hockey League have more points than he does. Those guys, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and Nathan McKinnon. So he's keeping some incredible company. Elias Pettersson's just a couple of points behind since February 1st. So we're seeing 2 of the top scorers in the National Hockey League over the last couple of months. But Clayton Keller has done a really nice job in Arizona without much of a supporting cast. He's got 37 goals. He's got 85 points. So I think we should salute this guy for playing hard and producing under less than ideal conditions. If they're going to build around a player, he seems like the guy to build around.
Yeah, in addition to Keller, they have some nice pieces with the Coyotes. However, the future uncertain in Phoenix.
Yeah, where have we heard that story before?
Yeah,
You're
true.
right, though. Matias Maccelli is second in rookie scoring. This guy leads the National Hockey League in rookie assists. Matty Beniers is the only first-year player. Okay, Andrei Kuzmenko not included, but guys that qualify as rookies in the National Hockey League. Matias Maccelli sounds Italian. He's actually born in Finland. He's found a home there in the desert. And so, yeah, you look at him. We talked about Clayton Keller. You look at Matias Maccelli. Dylan Guenther, who, of course, was drafted in the top 10 with that pick that once belonged to the Vancouver Canucks. Dylan Guenther should be a full-time Coyote next year. He had 15 points in the 33 games that he played in the National Hockey League as a teenager earlier this year. Logan Cooley was a 3rd overall pick. Connor Geekie, they got him high in the draft last year. They're going to have another top 10 pick this year, and they've got Ottawa's pick after sending Jacob Chychrun there. So, we say this every year. Oh, the Coyotes stockpiling these picks. They've got all this young talent. At some point, you have to make that matter, though. And with lawsuits and the fact that they're playing in a 5,000-seat rink and it's temporary and there's no quite clear direction about the future of a new rink in Tempe, you just wonder what is the long-term future for hockey in Phoenix.
Let's get to the stat that stands out. It's presented by Jason Hominick at jason.mortgage.
So the stat that stands out to me here on the final night of the regular season for the Vancouver Canucks is if they win, they top out with 83 points. If they only get a single point, then obviously they'll settle with 82. But if they win, they get to 83, which is 9 points shy of the 92 points they finished with last year, which was a disappointing season after the Bruce bump and a bit of a push towards the playoffs that ultimately fell short. But 83 points is best case scenario for the Vancouver Canucks. I don't care how you slice it. This was a team, the coaching staff, the players, they stood there on the eve of training camp, banged their fists on the table and said anything short of the playoffs would be a massive disappointment. Well, here they are, and we've spent much of the second half of this year talking about their standings in the Connor Bedard draft lottery sweepstakes. So, yeah, even if they win tonight and get to 83 points, just a massively disappointing season for the Vancouver Canucks. That, to me, is the stat that stands out. A presentation of our mortgage broker friend, Jason Hominick.
One last chance for my Bodog Best Bet, a chance to make you some money. So I'm going to ride somebody that I've been riding all season long, and Andrei Kuzmenko, anytime goal scorer at plus 125. JPat, this is the 5th time I've made this bet. 3 for 4. 3 out of 4 times I've hit it. 75% on this tonight, so I'm feeling good about this. You know they want to get him his 40th goal. Take it to the bank. Andrei Kuzmenko, anytime goal scorer, run to Bodog to make that bet.
I like that one. And again, he's been such a fun player to chart in his first year in the National Hockey League. I think has exceeded everybody's goals. And so, yeah, it would be a nice reward if they set him up, get him that opportunity to get the 40th goal that he's looking for. We should mention as well, Elias Pettersson just 2 shy of 40. So he's got the points mark that he was looking for, got across that century threshold the other night against the Ducks. Maybe he's got 2 goals in him. Maybe they both get to the 40-goal mark tonight. We'll see what happens when they face off against these Coyotes.
And we've got a reward for you tonight. Here's what you got to do. We've got Bodog Bucks to give away, but this time $100, JPat. However, there are conditions here. You have to comment here on YouTube on the pregame show. Leave the game-winning goal, time, and period in the comments. Has to be on YouTube. Every place else will be disqualified just here on YouTube. You tell us the game-winning goal, period, and time, and you're taking home $100 in sweet Bodog Bucks. All right, one last time. Game 82. Who tonight needs to do something in this game?
I'm sticking with Andrei Kuzmenko. He's kind of been the theme here of this pregame show. He's got 20 goals in the 35 games that he has played under Rick Tocchet. So he's been productive. He was productive under Bruce Boudreau. But we know that there's been that storyline of the tough love through it all. Some of those nights where he's been parked or he's been dropped lower in the lineup, taken off the first unit power play. And all this guy does is score 20 goals in 35 games under Rick Tocchet. Can he make it 21 in 36? We'll find out tonight. So I hope it happens. I want to see that big smile from Andrei Kuzmenko at least one more time here before the season is through. So Andrei Kuzmenko, he's my do-something guy tonight.
All right, game 82. Want to say thank you to everybody that's checked out the pre-games this season. We love bringing them to you. And also want to give a shout out to our main man, producer Aaron, who's been with us the entire ride. 82 games now in the books. Let's see if the Canucks can get a W to cap off the season. This has been another edition of the Rink Wide Vancouver podcast presented by Bodog for Jeff Patterson and producer Aaron. I'm Andrew Wadden. Remember, Rink Wide is the show that always scores.